G'day, there might be a little bit of wailing in the background. There's 6 or 7 cats running around waiting for me to feed them. We tend to look after a few strays in our neighbourhood. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about today was a thing called process. And for a lot of people who are starting businesses, process is something that they kind of don't really want to think about too much. They're too busy, designing great brands or running great events or whatever. And so the idea of having to do the bureaucratic side of things called, process just doesn't appeal. But I can tell you that it is one of the major reasons why small businesses fail is that they don't actually have processes. I'm being bitten in the arm by this cat here. Anyway, so that's a process, I guess. It's a process called give me some food. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying. If you don't have good processes in place, you will forget to send out invoices, you will forget to chase up late payments, and basically your business will fail. Now, processes can be complex or simple, and for most people in small businesses, they can be relatively simple. You might say, well, give us an example of a process. Okay, well, going to the shop. There are 2 ways of doing it. The good way is you do a list. And then you go to the shop, you buy everything that you need, and then you come home. The bad way is to not go with a list, but to get there and try and figure out what the hell it is. Oh God, and then you get home and you find out that you forgot the milk and you've only got enough milk for 1 cup of tea. Now there is the third way, which is the way I do it, which is I write a list and then I go to the shop, but I've left the list at home. So I don't encourage you to do that. But nevertheless, processes. Processes for things like making sure that any tax or VAT that you pay, when you get paid, take that VAT and put it in a separate account so you don't end up spending it. Okay, that's one simple kind of process. If you've got other payments that you know are due on a monthly basis, then just take the money out of any that's coming in and put it in the account, a savings account or whatever, where you can't touch it until the time when it's actually due. That's a simple process. Sending out invoices on time. In fact, sending out invoices 5 days before they're due. That's a process. And all of these little things will help you to be able to focus on building great brands or running great events or whatever else it happens to be that you do, and not have to worry about that kind of lastminute.com sinking feeling, also known as an oh shit experience, when you suddenly realize you don't actually have enough money in the account right now for your VAT return because you've bloody spent it, or whatever, or you're waiting for people to pay you and it's now 2 months and you only just realize, God, I haven't even followed up on that. Or even worse, you did the work 2 months ago and I haven't actually invoiced for it. That might sound like it's, crazy and I'm just making this up, but I can tell you about a guy called Muhammad, guy I know here. He was running a creative agency and he was hiring left, right and centre. He was getting all sorts of clients because he had a great reputation and he's really, really good. And they were doing great work. And then one day he got a call from the bank to say, look, we're just about to close you down because you've exceeded your overdraft and we haven't seen any money coming in for ages, so we presume that you've gone bust. And he said, no, I haven't gone bust. And they said, well, we've got no evidence of that, there's no money coming in. And then he suddenly realised to his horror that for 8 weeks he hadn't sent out any invoices. And I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. He hadn't sent out any invoices. He didn't have anybody in his team to send out the invoices either. So he borrowed a couple of $100,000 from his dad, and from then on, he made sure that somebody in the organisation's job was to send out invoices on the right day, and then to follow up when the payment was due, and then to follow up again if the payment didn't come in. And he saved his business. But I'll tell you what, he was that close to going under. So don't put yourself in that position. Process. Learn to love them. And we'll catch you later.